What we need to do now is build the hierarchy so that our character can be a cutout puppet. And the most important thing when you're building a hierarchy is establishing the parent. So what I normally do is create a master peg so that all the elements will be parented to it, which means that if I move the master peg, everything attached to that peg, including all the children, will move at one time. So what I'm going to do is add a new peg by clicking this button right here, and I'm going to right click on that peg and rename it. So I'll go ahead and leave the word peg there, but in front of it I'll type gunslinger. I'll go ahead and put an underscore. This lets me know that this is the master peg for the entire character. And this is important because if I had more than one character, I would know which peg belongs to whom. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And now what we need to do is attach all the children to the master peg. So I'm going to click on revolver, and I'm going to hold down Shift now, and I'm going to go down to where it says poncho rear. You'll notice I'm not going to include the backdrop because we don't need to move the actual city. So I'll go ahead and grab the poncho rear, and I'm going to go back to the top here and click and hold the mouse down and drag everything right on top of the gunslinger peg. We know we're successful when everything indents and we see a little drop down arrow. So I'm going to go ahead and twirl that up, and now when I click on this peg, everything is selected, and I can go ahead and move everything as one unit. And don't forget, we did not attach the city, so it stays where it is. So now what we have to do is establish pegs for all the elements that are going to be animated. So let me go ahead and undo this and put the gunslinger back where he belongs. He can't exactly have a shootout over here. And I'm going to twirl this down, and this time we're going to select the revolver and the poncho rear, hold down the Shift key. And instead of clicking this button here, what we want to do is we want to automatically add a parent to every single element that's going to animate. So I'm going to click on this button, and now the revolver, the head, everything has a peg attached to it so that it can be animated. And you know we did this right when we see the little P here. So we have the revolver / P and so on. I can go ahead and twirl those guys down if you want, and we can see that we have all these pegs attached. Of course, there's a shortcut to do this. You can go ahead and hold down the first element and then scroll down and grab the last element, right click, and then you can go ahead and choose to collapse or expand it under the arrange menu here. So we can choose collapse and we can choose expand. So I'll go ahead and collapse that. And let's see what we have here. So we have the master peg and everything that's going to animate attached to its own peg. Now what we need to do is to establish the hierarchy, which we'll do in the next part.